Welcome back, guys. The film Unfolded presents heist action movie called Lift. So fastens your seatbelt because things is about to get worse. And if you love the video, then hit the like and subscribe the channel. So let's get started. At the story's start, we see Venice, where exquisites are up for auction. As a result, wealthy people are sitting here wearing masks one by one. Cyrus, the story's protagonist, is knowledgeable and has planned a theft here with his friends because he is a mastermind and has successfully committed thefts in the past. Half of the purchasers are now seated in Venice, while the other half are in London, where the live video of this Neela is currently taking place. Cyrus is at the top of his team, which is described here. A pilot girl and a locksmith who can easily break any kind of difficult lock are also mentioned, along with a hacker, another engineer, and an elderly man who assists Cyrus in stealing. At this point, he has also joined Cyrus at the auction. Everywhere that is under police surveillance has cameras placed, and the top police officer, A.B., was in Cyrus a long time ago. She met Cyrus, and they became friends, but when A.B. realized how big of a thief he is, he planned to catch him on a mission. However, Cyrus was so smart that he ran away, so this time A.B. and his team are ready to catch him red-handed. Next, we see that the auction has begun. First, a very expensive painting is brought in, which is bid for 1 crore, but ultimately sells for 2 crores. Cyrus and his friends, who were already waiting to steal the painting, steal it before it reaches the customer, and it is also sold for 2 crores on the black market at the same time. Then comes the most special item, a fantastic creation whose owner put a lot of work into it. He called it an NFT, and because he did not want to reveal who he was, he put a mask on his face. Those who skillfully film and edit the movie now have it up for sale, with the price steadily rising. But then the hacker for Cyrus's team works here. She presses a button and says, "Lift." All the lights go out and explosions begin, causing chaos everywhere. Now that the rich people are considering fleeing, Cyrus works here, but he hasn't even put in the 2.5 crore bid. So he approaches the person who created the NFT and tells him to come to my hideout, which is a ship. NFT will be brought there, and we'll give you the money there as well. Avi is watching all of this, which is why she goes to catch Cyrus and sends her friends. However, AB and his team pursue Cyrus and his team, who were fleeing from here, and those people initially continue to run like this before sitting in a speedboat and eluding the police. The police pursued them since they had put up barricades, but they continued to leave. After the NFT transaction, they arrived at their hideaway and ship, where they had a great time partying. Abby, who is still looking into this, was paying close attention to the footage of the attendees of the auction. Her gaze lands on the still-present Cyrus's assistant. These individuals approach and capture him for that reason. It turns out that the NFT's black market value continued to rise at the time of the theft. They required its true owner in order to activate it. They invite that inventor along and split the earnings with him. They both gain from this. However, Abby was seated with Cyrus's team's assistant, who was answering every question incorrectly. "I'll put you in jail and expose your truth to the world," Abby adds. "Telling us everything about your team would be preferable." The assistant responds that my team is now in London. "You have to capture them if you choose to do so. You'll have to go there with me." For that reason, Abby and her co-workers now visit the London Police Department, where she meets another officer who informs her that I have learned in secret that Las, the largest mafia, recently manipulated the market price, causing prices to fluctuate and earning him a lot of money. However, as a result of this profit, not only did the market or prices of items change, but many other things in the city also changed. Actually, there is a flood in the city as a result of Lars spreading the dam's water across it. Houses have flooded and people have died as a result, and Lars plans to do the same in another city where a large mafia is also engaged. The two of them will complete this task over the next 2 months. Lars will first pay that mafia, and then he will authorize the removal of the dam's boundaries. In this sense, the flood will likewise cause destruction in that city, but the money Lars will give him is not cash, but gold. Not 1 or 2 kilograms, but 10 tons. I must now terminate their agreement, and I ask that you halt the payment. "How can I help me in this?" asks Abby. The officer then explains that we are searching for someone who can capture criminals by thinking like them. A brilliant thief would undoubtedly be required for this task, and you are well aware of who he is. When Abby realized that the officer was referring to Cyrus, Abby instantly said, "No, no, nothing can happen as you think, sir. You want me to go to Cyrus and ask him for help, and he will agree to help us. This is not possible." The officer responds that if Cyrus and his team do not agree to do this, then who knows how many innocent people will be killed. You will have to persuade him by any means so that we can stop the dead body. Abby agrees, and they both go straight to Cyrus. At this point, they begin blaming one another. At the conclusion of the interview, Cyrus wonders why she came, but they answer, "You have cheated me. I have not given it to you." After Abby tells him everything the officer told her, he says, "You have to steal something for me." She then tells Cyrus that he must steal all the gold, which shocks his friends. Cyrus responds that he understands that this work is extremely difficult, but that it is also very important to do it because if they succeed in their plan, the entire city will be flooded, which will result in the deaths of many innocent people. However, this mission was going to be extremely difficult because they had to steal the gold from the plane. Then Cyrus and his gang got to work since the LA thugs were also aboard the aircraft. How are they going to carry out this mission? A jet that looks like that would be easy to hijack, according to the hacker. The issue is, however, where would such a plane come from? According to Cyrus, I am a wealthy girl at the auction house. We met a woman who works in aviation. By modifying it ourselves, we may make it more like her idea, which is somewhat close to that one. She could give us the aircraft then. All of these individuals now arrive at the plane salesman, who displays the same opulent aircraft to them. Although it was very attractive, flying it was forbidden due to its many LED glasses and loud noise. As a result, the dealer refuses to sell his aircraft. However, Abby informs him that I'm a police officer and that it is against the law to retain such aircraft in any case, and that if he does not turn them over to us, he will be sent to prison. Finally, he gives in. The aircraft had now been located, but controlling the radar was the next major challenge. To do this, they will need to construct a PSI that will produce signals that indicate two aircraft are in the air, but only one plane's signal will be shown. However, there was a little issue here. That is, when these two aircraft will be lowered and placed on top of one another. These two planes will be visible on the radar for a while, and those seated in the headquarters will be able to see them. As a result, they will need to place a special person there. A BK states, "I know an officer at the airport who is my friend. He will be sitting there, so he will do our work." And they all now meet that officer who was disabled and now uses a wheelchair. They present their argument to him, but he declines. He apologizes, but because this task entails stealing, and for him, the city's greatest mafia lass, he will not do it. No, absolutely not. However, Cyrus offers to pay you 10 lakhs for this service, and the officer accepts. For this reason, all of these teams begin working, and these individuals begin altering this plane. The PSI machine, which will control the signals, is then created. Its size is enormous, and it resembles a bomb. Therefore, AB instructs the hacker to carry out this action behind this PCE computer. Make many small parts which will be given to each member so that they can install it at different places in the whole plane. This way, the work will be done easily, for which the hacker agrees, and after a lot of hard work, she makes different parts of the PSI machine, after which finally their final day comes where everyone gets ready according to their own convenience. They had half the tickets for business class and half for economy class, so that these people can spread in the whole plane where they come to know that 2 goons of Las Vegas are in business class and 3 goons are in economy class, while the rest 10 people are sleeping on the floor. Now this whole team gets ready to execute their theft. The hacker has hacked all the cameras so that everything can be monitored while the lockmaster had installed his part of the PSI machine in the bathroom. One of their companions was scared. That's why he did not come along on this mission. Then AB does his part of the work. She goes to the bathroom of her business class and starts installing the second PSI machine there. But then due to a jolt, the machine slips out of the machine and falls down. The machine splits into several pieces as a result. which greatly aggravates Abi since he must somehow repair the damaged components and restart the machine. That portion has to be fixed there. However, the thugs now wanted to visit the restroom as well, and their plot would be thwarted if they saw this. Everyone will be shot and killed. However, Cyrus shows up there on schedule, and ABH and the two of them work together to repair the equipment there. As the astute pilot maneuvers her aircraft underneath the large aircraft, she waits for the PSC to activate so that both aircraft's radars emit the same signal. At this point, the headquarters radar was only receiving signals from two aircraft. The partner of the airport officer advises that we should report this to the higher authorities. The cop who is ABH's partner responds to this by saying that it could be a little flaw that can be resolved in 2 to 3 minutes. He begins to include her in his conversations. As the astute pilot maneuvers her aircraft underneath the large aircraft, she waits for the PSI to activate so that both aircraft's radars emit the same signals. The locksmith now arrives at the lowest level, where the gold-containing safe is located. He attempts to break the latch on the safe after placing his sophisticated gadget on it. The thugs, however, begin to get suspicious in the meantime and begin attempting to retrieve their gold. When Cyrus learns of this, he attempts to stop them as well. Consequently, a brawl breaks out between the robbers and the thugs. They get into a heated argument. The pilot senses that something is amiss because of the shock in the moving aircraft, and he promptly notifies headquarters. Then AB's coworker officer informs him that he must land the jet at the adjacent airport due to the poor weather. The pilot begins landing the aircraft after accepting his words, but he has many difficulties since the airfield is too tiny. Nevertheless, he manages to land the jet there, and now Cyrus's pilot does the same. But Lass also learns about this, that due to hijacking, our jet has landed someplace else instead of where it was meant to. For this reason, Lass instructs his friends to murder or bring to me whomever is preventing my gold from getting to me. That way, it will get to me. The locksmith, on the other hand, begs Cyrus's forgiveness, saying that I was unable to breach the lock and take the money in time. The thugs will now possess this wealth, and the Mafia Lass will accompany them as they make their risky transaction. They have no other option now. Therefore, in addition to the thugs, these aides their pilot guides them around the aircraft. People begin traveling to Las Vegas. However, the Mafia also visits Lass. She hoped that a flood would occur in the city as soon as the sale was completed, causing market shares to fluctuate. Both of them will profit from this, but the Mafia also learns that the aircraft carrying their wealth has been hijacked. This tells him that my thugs have taken over the situation and that you will get the items. You only need to find a way to complete the transaction today. In the meanwhile, there is still a struggle in the aircraft, which is why all of PSI become demolished. As a result, both aircraft begin to show up on the headquarters radar. The government then tracks down the aircraft, positions its fighter planes behind it, and orders them to launch an assault. Here, however, Cyrus and the pilot use their intelligence to flip the aircraft around and write that we are human and should not be targeted. For this reason, the fighter aircraft do not strike them at this moment. Instead, they begin pursuing them so that the police can arrive and rescue everyone or deal with the problem when the plane lands. Then the jet touches down on the Las Mahal property, which is close to his home. In addition to destroying the Earth, they breach his home's protective wall and enter, the moment of which causes all of the gold to fall. When the Mafia sees this, they inform Lars that our agreement is canceled and that I will now take away all of the gold. After saying this, she begins to leave, but Lars, in rage, shoots and kills her. Simultaneously, the police show up there as well, and the pursuing cops encircle them from all sides. Immediately after the cops, he begins to apprehend Lars, saying, "This is my house, and all these are thieves who came to deal with that Mafia woman. The real culprits are all these. They killed the Mafia, so you catch them and vacate my house as soon as possible." However, Cyrus uses his cunning to convince the police that Lars is the real culprit, demonstrating to them with the plane's LED glass and the recording of NFT creation that he planned to destroy the entire city and had struck a gold deal with the Mafia woman. Abi and the London officer were also involved in this mission, since stopping this trade is the goal, police take all gold. This means that even after dealing with such trying circumstances, these crooks get nothing, but Abi still joins Cyrus's squad. In this instance, Cyrus considers giving Abby a picture that she loved as a youngster so that she would be impressed. And these people get together again. And now the biggest thing comes to light here. Actually, the lockmaster had already taken out all the gold from there by breaking the safe instead of real gold. Fake gold was kept there, and it was pretended as if he could not break the safe. That is, the gold which was found by the police was actually fake gold, while the real gold was disappeared from the sky at that time, and these people had also sent it to their hideout. That is, these thieves had once again carried out such a big theft of gold due to their mastermind. After which all these people go to take their goal where they hug each other. There is no limit to their happiness. They get ready to go on a new journey of their life and to do adventure, with which this story ends here. So friends, I hope you like this story of the lift. Rest for now, that's all in today's video, but we will definitely meet again, and that too with another new interesting story. But always, thanks for till then.